Snoozapalooza, written by Kimberlee Gard, illustrated by Vivian Winokur. Snoozapalooza. A cold wind blows and snow starts to fall. Mouse hides in a den that's cozy and small. Snuggling into a wee-sized heap, one begins snoring and drifts off to sleep. He dozes and dreams, tucked out of sight. A snoozapalooza, all day and all night. Snail crawls in, slipping under a leaf. Sealed up in her shell, she falls fast asleep. Snuggling into a tiny heap, now two are snoring. They're both sound asleep. They doze and they dream, tucked out of sight. A snoozapalooza, all day and all night. So it's a counting book. Mole tunnels up from under the ground. He sneaks in quietly, settling down. Snuggling into a little heap, now three are snoring. They're all sound asleep. They doze and they dream, tucked out of sight. A snoozapalooza, all day and all night. Do you ever have snoozapaloozas? We have them in our house sometimes. In from the cold comes weary chipmunk, nuzzling into a soft furry bunk. Snuggling into a bigger heap, now four are snoring. They're all sound asleep. They doze and they dream, tucked out of sight. A snoozapalooza, all day and all night. Hedgehog rolls by, slip sliding on ice, tumbling in where it's cozy and nice. Snuggling into a growing heap, now five are snoring. They're all sound asleep. They doze and they dream, tucked out of sight. A snoozapalooza, all day and all night. Rabbit scurries in, piling on, settling down with a stretch and a yawn. Snuggling into a rising heap, now six are snoring. They're all sound asleep. They doze and they dream, tucked out of sight. A snoozapalooza, all day and all night. Skunk walks on tiptoe without a peep. She closes her eyes and nods off to sleep. Snuggling into a mighty heap, now seven are snoring. They're all sound asleep. They doze and they dream, tucked out of sight. A snoozapalooza, all day and all night. And the more animals that gather, the warmer it gets. A gust of wind whirls outside the den. Fox's teeth chatter. Can your teeth chatter? His fur stands on end. Snuggling into a grand size heap, now eight are snoring. They're all sound asleep. They doze and they dream, tucked out of sight. A snoozapalooza, all day and all night. Have you noticed the description of the heap changes? Because when we started out, it was a wee-sized heap. This time it'll be giant. Grumpy badger bores into the hole and cuddles in between rabbit and mole. Snuggling into a giant heap, now nine are snoring. They're all sound asleep. They doze and they dream, tucked out of sight. A what? A snoozapalooza, all day and all night. All of these Z's, that means they're snoring. Bear's cold and tired. He needs a rest. He squeezes inside and joins the snooze fest. Snuggling into a massive heap, now 10 are snoring. They're all sound asleep. They doze and they dream, tucked out of sight. A snoozapalooza, all day and all night. Mackenzie just woke up from her snoozapalooza. All snuggled up into the middle, they snore and they snooze from big to little. They snore and then snore some more. It's a sounding roar, rattling clear across the floor, rumbling right out the door. The other wood creatures tremble in fear. What's that sound? They yell as they cover their ears. They look and they search for the source of the roar, then gape at the monstrous 10 animals snore. Wren has an idea and begins to sing. Tweety-tweet! Through the woods her tiny voice rings. Robin joins the song and then chickadee. Deer nods and hums loudly with wild turkey. Elk bawls and crow caws while moose snorts off key. Wolf howls and squirrel chatters along noisily. The 10-voice chorus with sounds high and low sings above the snores, and their rowdy song goes, wake up, wake up, wake up! Mouse opens an eye as light fills the den. He stretches and yawns with his 9 other friends. Their long nap is done, but they make a pact. Next winter, we promise, we'll all come back, and you can count on that. Why will they come back next winter? Because they hibernate. Yes. Snoozapalooza.